what you need a man for. Try to understand me, understand us. Everybody in here, lift the bands up. Baby trying to leave with me. I knew what the plan was. You would be what you need a man for. Ay, try to understand me.
Hey you guys, thank you for logging back into my channel. Welcome back to the Ruby Red from the Base Show. Go ahead and click that subscribe, like, comment, and go ahead and share it as well. That way your friends and everyone else can be updated, and that way that can help me get my views up and cracking. Okay, so today I'm going to be covering my whole little BBL surgery process for you guys. I'm going to help you guys get ready. If not, finish up the last of what you guys may have needed for this surgery if you guys are interested in getting one. Because let me tell you this, when I got mine, I didn't get everything that I needed. But it's neither here or there. I waited late to get it, but I got it eventually. Some of the stuff I didn't get, but I know it will help you guys process a lot better than mine's. Okay? Okay, so for the first thing first with the surgery process, you're going to have to pay for the deposit. That's the first thing you got to do. When you decide that you're committed, you found the doctor that you want, and you don't want to lose the date, you found the date that you were interested in, you better go ahead and purchase that deposit, because it's not guaranteed that date will be available for you. So the sooner you can get it, the better you will be. Okay? So the deposit is usually ranging from $250 and $500. Right now, Dr. Mesa. Sorry, you guys, I don't like when lip gloss is all on the side of my cheeks, my lips, with these, as you guys notice on my videos, with these braces. It causes a lot of problems with me with my juicy lips. But anyways, as I was stating, with Dr. Nassif, right now the deposit is $500. It was $250 last week was the deadline for like 3 weeks or for a week. Okay, and so like I was saying, it's better to pay your deposit as soon as possible. That way you can hold your date and save your date. You can hold it up to maybe even a year. So if you have a date next year, that'd be even fine. At least you have that date out the way. Okay, after you pay your deposit, you don't have to pay anything else. You can make monthly payments, but it'll probably, if you can bring it in the day that you go in, that'll be accepted as well in cash or check, or I think it's a cashier check. And so once you're done making your payment and you purchase and making sure you pay for your deposit, you're going to wait for 2 forms. One is the medical clearance form. The other one is the lab form. You have to be seen by the doctor. The doctor will have to check, make sure that everything, you get cleared to the medical part, as far as your chest, breathing, blood, your heart rate, your pulse, such. Check your legs, everything. Make sure that you're good to go. Once that is good, they'll go ahead and give you a lab slip, or you'll go ahead and they'll send you to either a lab, or they'll do some of the lab work there. My doctor, however, did some of my lab work there and then sent it off to the actual lab place. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is wait for that lab slip, wait for the medical clearance form, notify your PCP or your doctor, have them complete the medical clearance form. If you don't have a PCP, that I heard that it's okay for you to go to the emergency room as well to have the medical clearance form done. And your blood work, you can go to any Unilab, or you can go to any Quest diagnostic with that lab slip that the doctor sent you, and you should be fine. I didn't know that. I went ahead because I moved from Las Vegas and moved here back to California, and I actually paid out my pocket because the doctor that I was approved, or the doctor that saw me and had my medical work, was in Las Vegas. And so I went ahead and purchased my lab work while I was there, and I had to pay out the pocket because my insurance was not covered in Las Vegas. It's only covered here in California. And I found out after I got it done that I could have saved $600, maybe $400 and something. I was pissed. Okay, and also after you fill them forms out, then the doctor not going to be able to do the COVID test. I don't believe mine wasn't able to do it. You have to go somewhere to like Rite Aid, Walgreens, somewhere like that. You can always go online. And what is the website? It's just Google it, COVID testing locations, and they'll have a website where you'll click and they'll set you up with a date and time. And it don't take that long. It only took me, I called and I set up an appointment for the following day. So that's not a stress. That's not nothing to stress off of anyways. Okay, and then make sure though when you do schedule the COVID test that it's not further out than 4 weeks, because it's not going to be legit. So you want to do your COVID test, at least I would do it 2 weeks prior to going in. I did mine 4 weeks, so you don't want to do it no past 4 weeks. Sorry, y'all. I had to take a smoke break. Okay, so let's go in the house. It's hot as hell out here. Okay, so now I feel the hell of my bed right here. You guys can see me a lot better. I know it's kind of loud because I got this AC on, and I ain't turning it out. It's too hot. Okay, so after you get the COVID test, it's going to take about a week. Not even that. It only took like 3 days for my COVID test to come back. That was the first test that was back before the blood work even came back. The COVID test came back, and you want to make sure you purchase all your vitamins, the irons, the vitamin B, vitamin C, the folic acid, whatever your doctor requests that you, the vitamins you take, you want to start taking them the minute you already set your date to have it done. Unless your date is further out than a month, or 2 months, then I would still do it. I would start, if my appointment is 6 months out, I would even start probably like once a day, because usually you do it like, they want you to do it like twice or something a day. I would do it once a day if it's further out, just so that your body, the healthier you can be, the more better it will be, the better results you'll have. You want to also gather all your pre-op supplies and as soon as possible. That way you can have your bag ready to go, because sometimes they'll call you and ask you if you can come in sooner. If you want a date sooner, you never know with a doctor's NACE's office. Okay, and then you want to purchase even some of your post-op things, like things that you may think you have time for, because you just never know what your recovery will be. So I would recommend purchasing your BBL pillow, your BBL chair, bed, whatever, that type of like supplies like that. I will purchase that and I will set it up before I even go get surgery. I will have it already ready, so when you come back home, make sure you purchase only reason why you want to make sure the things that you purchase, the BBL bed and the chair, whatever you guys decide. You don't have to get any of that besides the BBL pillow. That's something you can't go without. Bobby pillow, things like that. But as far as like the BBL bed, it's definitely handy, and if you decide to do it, then I would do it as soon as possible, only because you want it already set up, and it takes forever to come. Like my bed, I waited to after I got back from Miami, and the bed took literally 2 to 3 weeks to come. So just a heads up on that as well. These are the main things that I found everyone needed. Not everyone will need it, but the main things that I noticed that everyone needs. I'm not going to go through everything as far as all the vitamins and everything one by one. You can always, your doctor's going to send that already, but some of the things the doctor don't list that I feel like you may need, some of these the doctor do list, like the chucks and things like that. If you're not going to a recovery home, if you're going to a recovery home, then you won't need the chucks, only because those are some things that the recovery home supply for you. But make sure you check to make sure, because some recovery homes are a little bit different than others, so you want to make sure that they do supply that, which they should. The compression socks, you will need probably about 3 to 5 pairs of those. Maxi pads, you will need those. Lymphatic drops, they're not on the list, and so I'm saying that because I noticed one girl that I met inside of the recovery home, she had those, and those things works wonders. So I would recommend that. That'll help you with your draining and your bloating and all that. It helps. Also, Arnica Cream and Neosporin is like the top of the list. You're gonna itch so much, like right now. You itch so much throughout the whole process. Like you don't stop itching, and that's what the Arnica gel and the Neosporin helps with, and with the bruising. You don't want to have sleepy left with scars. So yeah, those are the top things for me anyways. I would recommend anyone, I would recommend that everyone get a measuring tape, because it's very important just to know like how far you came, and you know, and I never got it, but I noticed that a lot of places don't have it. So like when you're going to go buy a faja, things like that, it's always good. Or when you're ordering a faja, it's good to where you don't have to go out and get measured. You already have it on hand and on deck. That's something that they don't mention, and I never had. But if I had it, it would have been more convenient for me, because it's just very good. So when your body's changing all the time, that way you'll know exactly what your measurements is. You don't have to chance it going to ordering at different websites that you're not sure of, because that's what my mistake was. I actually ordered from a website that took my money and was a scam. And so it's good to know your measurement, because you can go to Pretty Girl Curves and like different name, like I don't know if it's Trubio or something like that. It's Trabio, one of the names. I'm not exactly sure, but they're the top places that people go through to get their fajas, and you're not there because they're they're the main places in Miami, and so you can't get it from out here, so you have to order it, and it's good to have your measuring size already, so that way you don't have to worry about getting it seamed and all of that, and remeasured and all that, and fixed. So also you'll want to also bring a robe with the house shoes, as everyone should already know. You want to also bring the flushable wipes, because you are going to be in a situation to where you cannot, like, it's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be used to wiping back there. So it's going to be like with the wipes, it's less this, you know what I mean? It's clean. And you can also flush the Dial or antibacterial soap you're going to need the day of surgery. The doctor is going to recommend that you don't do any type of scented bar soap or any type of body wash or anything like that. They're going to tell you can do Dial soap, or you can do anything that's antibacterial soap. Sleeping pills, you're definitely going to need to help with getting as much sleep as possible. It's going to be very hard and very uncomfortable to sleep. So I would recommend that you get some Tylenol PM, something like that. Tank tops, like spaghetti straps. yeah, the spaghetti straps is what they recommend, because you don't wear it raw, you just wear that way, because a lot of fajas are pretty much like don't have any shirt at the top, so you have the tank top, that way it won't be too much weight in between the compressions and things like that. So yeah, I would recommend you get like 4 to 5, only because you can wash them when you wash your fajas and things like that. What else? Depending on how long you stay, you might, if you only stay less than a week, you might not even need that. Probably like 2 or 3, and you can rewash them. You want to bring some Ziploc bags, only because when you go on the plane, they recommend that you have your pills all organized in the bags. It's just more organized, and it saves you room in your suitcase. Peroxide, that's only if you're not staying at the recovery home, because if you're at the recovery home, usually they'll do the washing and stuff for you. Adult diapers, Depends, or something like that. Those will help so that the blood won't seep through your faja and you won't feel yuck, because you can't just keep getting dressed. You're not going to have that many fajas to get dressed in, and so it's best to just get those. That way it helps from when you're bleeding, depending on how much you're bleeding. It'll save you chucks, as well as it'll save you time on getting up and having to clean your faja. Like I said, you're gonna need Tylenol, regular Tylenol, but if you have some Tylenol PMs, that's fine. But regular Tylenol, Motrin, something to help you, so when you're going to your get the massages and things like that, because you don't want to just take one Percocet. You might need something extra to kick it, because the massages are very, very intense. I recommend that you add that Tylenol or that Motrin, because it's going to be very uncomfortable. Some people, it don't be. Some people I saw on YouTube where they're good. They're like, oh, the massages, they were doing a lot. They were putting it like exaggerating on how the pain is. But me, when I first got my massage, baby, I needed a Perc, a Tylenol, and a Xanny if I could have got it, but I didn't have it. But okay, and then you'll want to also contact your local lymphatic drainage massage therapist in your area to see just exactly where they're at, and to line your appointments up, because they're busy right now, just as well as the doctors are busy. The massage therapist, depending on the area you live in, it might not even have any, so you might want to check that out as well. Like the area that I live in, I only have maybe a handful, but three of them are in the same building, so it's not that many available in Northern California, period. So you might want to look in your area to see exactly how far you have to drive, and to see if how busy they are, because there are a lot of massage therapists that specialize in our area are very booked up. So you might want to schedule your appointments as soon as possible, because that'll be something that you have to run into, and that's something that I had to deal with, and that's a headache itself. Okay, and then you want to pay for your airlines as soon as possible, because it'll be cheaper. The sooner you can get them, the cheaper it will be. When you get your airline ticket, you want to ask for a wheelchair assistance for your ride back home. Also, if you decide to do first class or anything like that, or whatever your preference, you want to add that to the thing as well, because like me, I rode regular class, commercial. I was uncomfortable, but from what I saw with Delta, their first class is pretty much the same. We just got a little bit room, and the way that room is, it's not enough room for me. I wouldn't be able to. I would want somewhere where I can lay down, or either like bend over and get off my butt, which you have no option. You're gonna have to bring your butt, so it's just a little bit more space out, so you don't have to be bothered. But it's whichever is your preference. You want to pay for your motel, Airbnb. Make sure you get insurance on the flight as well as your room or Airbnb, because you just never know what might happen. You don't know what your blood work may show, and you don't know if you might have to cancel, what emergency situations you might come across, and then you don't want to have to cancel those tickets and then lose your money. Those tickets are kind of expensive, so I would actually definitely add $60 more and add the insurance just to be safe. I had to reschedule my appointment because I ran across an emergency, and I still, even with insurance, I still had to pay $200 on top of that. because I had 2 flights. I had a layover, and I didn't have insurance on both flights, so I still had to pay $200 out the pocket. So yeah, it can run you a lot of money. So it's better safe than sorry. And you want to research the Airbnbs as well, and you want to also research the recovery homes if you decide to go there, because a lot of Airbnbs are not allowing, I saw on the news, not allowing people that's getting BBLs to stay at their resident because of the insurance, risk of insurance and all that. So you might want to be careful. And then they also have, you got to think about it. And I know when I got my Airbnb in Miami, they also had cameras and things like that in their kitchen and things, so they can be able to check. You know what I mean? So you want to check that out as well, and talk to the hostess, the person who runs the Airbnb, about that. And then also with the recovery home, you want to check and make sure that the recovery home, from my experience, you do a lot of research. Check Yelp. Go onto your doctor's social media page, or on Facebook would be the best one. I noticed that I'm in a lot of groups because I didn't know where I was going to actually go get my surgery, and I've been in them for a minute. But if you need to go on Facebook and go into the group, take your time and find out which recovery homes they're recommending, and then look at their reviews, because that's the best ones, because they're the latest and up to date. Because Yelp, you can get their reviews, but that could have been years ago, you know what I mean? And since then, it could have been issues. So it's better to just basically go. I will definitely go on social media, add myself to a group, whichever doctor that I choose. Look that doctor up. More than likely, they're going to have a group, and I would check and ask questions to which recovery group, or just add a lot of recovery, a lot of doctor groups, like Dr. Doback, Dr. Simmons, Dr. Nassif. It's a lot of doctors you can add into their group, and they'll basically tell you which recovery home to go to. I would just add, because I'm in like 4 different groups. So, but I didn't. I had 2 recovery homes that I got reviews on, and I chose. That's a long story. I'm gonna just actually go over my experience with the recovery home tomorrow, because I may need a whole day for that. But anyways, it will always be good to get a backup plan as well with the recovery homes. And like I said, I cannot stress you enough to tell you, do as much research as possible that you can with the recovery homes, because you don't want to play. You're going to go through you're going to go through what you're going to go through. If you decide to go through it, is very mental. It's more mental than they actually explain and mention to you. And you don't want to you're going to be away from your family. You're going to be away in an area where, you're already feeling like you're alone. And so you don't want to, you want to be somewhere where you feel comfortable, where you feel like they're on their hands and knees helping you, and that you don't have nothing to worry about. But you don't want to, I would hate for you to go there and then you run across a whole brick wall like me. And yeah. So once you do those things, I believe I covered the main things. Everything else that I did not cover, more than likely your doctor will give you for us, like the things that you need to bring to all the things you need to bring, the list of things you need to bring to your appointment. They're definitely, if you go through Dr. Nassif or whatever doctor you go through, they're going to send you a list, attachment with all the things that you should check off list. Even though the things that I did go over is like the main things that mostly everyone's going to bring. I'm quite sure you guys are going to find things that you would like to bring yourself. Me, I brought a laptop, I brought my iPod, I brought a lot of little things, like just to help time go by, to make me feel like I'm at home. Because I know some places I didn't know, but I didn't know how many TVs and how many people was going to be there. So I brought me a laptop, that way I can watch and listen to YouTube and things like that, and without bothering people, because I know everybody's going to be in pain and things like that. Some people aren't going to want to hear the TV up loud while they're in pain. So out of respect, I just brought the laptop with my earphones just to make sure that I'm straight. So everything I went through, I went through everything. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I will be glad to answer them for you. I check my messages often, and so yeah, I feel like I'm in school or something. But I check my message often, so if you guys have any other questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you. And let me see, is there anything else I need to tell you guys? Nope, but I'm going to show you guys my progress my progress so far this week is pretty much the same. The only thing different is I'm just tired, drained, really over the process. I'm just over just the whole thing. And so I took off 2 days, 1 day this week, 1 day last week, with my massages, because the last time I went to the massage was on Tuesday. They're just, in the time before that, they're asking me pretty much basically the same thing. Since I'm not really having any issues as far as like with blockage and all that, like I'm not having any hard spots or anything like that unless I'm out of my faja. So therefore, they don't really have anything, no direction where they need to go. And so they're just asking me which areas I would like for them to work on, like my back, my stomach, and they're always going to do your arms and feet and things like that. But the main things that they want to spend the most of your time with. So since I've been lacking like that, since they've been asking me those questions, I figure there's not that much that they need to do. And so I decided to slow down on it, instead of doing it 2-3 days a week, 1 to 2 days a week, so yeah. So that's what I noticed, that pretty much things are starting to slow down just a little bit more. The progress is, it's becoming to be a little more chill. I'm still itching a lot. You're going to need that Arnica gel. You're going to need the Neosporin critically, because it's going to itch so bad. Also, I ordered, like I mentioned earlier, I ordered them 3 fajas I mentioned in the last video. Come to find out, they were a scam. That's a different story. Yeah, so be careful which company you go to. Like I said, you want to go to the main companies, Pretty Girl Curves. If you go to Miami, they actually, location is out there. I would probably suggest you guys go by there, get your faja there before you leave, because the one that they give you at the doctor when you actually get your have your surgery, it's not going to be nothing fancy. You're not going to want to keep it. You're going to want something better than that. I can promise you that. And then you're not going to be in that stage 1 for very long. But you don't want to get the stage 2 and 2 after you lose some weight and you can get an idea on what size you're going to need. So other than that, you guys, yeah, and chill. Other than that, been just taking care of my kids. They started school this week, so it's going to be a laid back week. Hope y'all have a good day. Go ahead and please, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and press the subscribe, like, comment, and share, please. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I took my time out, that way I can cover some of the things that I was curious to know about anyways when I first was deciding to get mine. Some of the things they didn't ever cover, like the post-op, things like that. If you guys have any more questions like I mentioned, please feel free to ask me. I'll be glad to answer them for you guys, period. See y'all next time. Deuces.